made it! Wow, that was a really long 5 minutes.
Last time on Dragon Ball Z!
So remind me, in the anime, everybody teleported off of Namek because... and... Ish. And then Goku had to fly all the way back normally, is what happened?
They tried to wish him back immediately, but he said, yeah, don't waste a wish on that.
Oh, okay.
Because at that point he was in the planet Yardrak. That's where the outfit came from. It's also where he learned instant transmission. You know, I'm actually kind of surprised it didn't, filler or not, make episodes with him in Yardrak.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't do that either.
Yeah, like it's just told completely off screen that he was in this alien planet. That took care of him for a bit, and they taught him this technique, and then he flew back home.
So yeah, because it's kind of a big deal to just gloss over. Oh, I can teleport now.
Yeah.
Well, he had to be doing something over those 2 years.
He actually reveals that he could have used instant transmission from Yardrak to get to Earth essentially instantaneously.
But why didn't he?
But he flew back. I don't know.
Goku's an asshole. Okay, good to know.
Kind of, yeah.
I like how every chapter starts with a new threat. Like, okay, is that the joke?
Yeah, it's very ambiguous. It can be said to literally anything.
Why use an ambiguous title like that at this point after we already know what the threat is?
Because then they don't have to write a new title card.
Oh, really? Did you make sure to watch all of my battles on planet Namek?
The hell's a Namek?
There was no need. We learned all we needed to learn from your scuffles with Vegeta.
Hubris.
All of your powers.
And now you
You've
will pay.
overlooked a very important detail. I'm stronger than you think.
Wow. Okay.
That's all you got, huh? It's essentially, it's like, there's no deal. Good for you. You're wrong. It's like, fuck you.
Hair dye. We didn't put that into consideration.
So we got a bit of story gameplay integration here, because at this point in time, if you know the series, Goku's suffering from that heart attack. So in gameplay sense, that means your health is constantly draining. So you gotta beat Android 19. Is that
the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Yeah. Pillsbury Doughboy here.
So why did Goku not take his medicine before?
Because it wasn't a Goku's an idiot, and it wasn't a problem at that point.
Yeah, it's almost like, you see, that's the frustrating thing about people who are having health problems. It's just like, oh, I'm feeling better. I don't need to take these pills anymore. Yeah, you're feeling better because you were taking your pills, you dumbass.
Well, no, the thing is, Trunks warned him about the heart disease thing. The problem was time travel. Going back to warning about people about stuff changes things. Goku wasn't feeling or having the heart problem at all until right this moment.
Right, yeah.
When he should have, when in Trunks' timeline, he got it much earlier.
You know, I would buy the whole butterfly effect thing if the butterfly effects that they showed in Dragon Ball Z made sense. Like, there's no causality between Trunks going in the past to give everyone a warning and these two androids showing up instead of 17 and 18. There's no causality between Trunks' warning and Goku getting sick at a slightly different time.
Yeah. They try to have it both ways, but it's clear that the series is running off multiverse theory.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's like when Trunks traveled back in time, he traveled back in time to a slightly different universe where things would have transpired slightly differently anyway.
Yeah.
Yes. Which is why he doesn't recognize 19 and 20.
Yeah, when he comes back.
Yeah, it's just like they never really explained why that was until later, way later, several arcs later, 2 series later.
And then and then in that series, Trunks manages to defeat a god that Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta couldn't beat with a magic power-up out of his ass.
Right.
Let's not talk about Goku Black.
So is Xenoverse canon?
No.
No?
No, I don't think so.
Well, that would have been amusing, because in Xenoverse, Future Trunks is basically drafted by the Kai of Time to protect the timeline because he went back in time and fucked it up, so it's basically a punishment.
So was this a big deal, or did everybody know that Vegeta was going to become Super Saiyan eventually?
Nobody, well, no one knew.
Oh, okay. But weren't there, like, games already that had come out? Like, I'm talking about the anime. didn't everybody, like, by the time that the anime was airing in the United States, hadn't it already finished in Japan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z is pretty old. Like, it ended in
96.
93. No, 93 I think is when it ended. The last movie came out in 95. I believe that was the time frame. But yeah, but when we first got it in the US, it was already done. Like, so... I guess if you check your magazine publications or online forums, fairly early on, online forums, I'm talking GeoCities and Angel Fire.
Yeah, Netscape.
Netscape and shit. Where animated GIFs took 5 minutes to load.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I remember seeing, like, in, like, import shops, posters of, like, Go Tanks and Adult Gohan and shit, and this was, like, when they was fighting Frieza.
Oh, wait. I don't even know why we had to think that far back. The intro itself told us that.
Oh, yeah, because Vegeta and Trunks are in it going Super Saiyan.
Vegeta and Trunks are in the intro going Super Saiyan, and for the longest time, I'm wondering, when are we going to get to that? Why am I watching Raditz' spaceship again?
Yeah, because, like, the dubbing company was lazy. So they wanted to have the cool Super Saiyan transformation in their opening, but they didn't. But they only wanted to, make one opening and copy paste it across the whole series because these Japanese people and their changed up openings, it's too much work.
That's just not a thing that American cartoons ever do, is changing the opening song. Like, I think the closest I can think of is Teen Titans having a different version of its theme song.
They don't even need to change the opening song. The animation of Goku transforming with the other Super Saiyans is from a later version of the opening they just grafted in because they wanted it there.
The intro of this one mimics is the first one where Goku kind of leaps down with, like, the power pole. That's the first version of the Chala.
Although, this game does have both.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
In fact, starting with the Namek Saga, I added it out because every saga in this game begins with the Dragon Ball Z intro. Starting with the Namek Saga, they use the updated one with the Super Saiyan Goku
wait.
sequence. And
Did Android 18 ever have lips in the anime? Did she?
Well, not visible lips in the same
Not
way
visible
that...
lips.
They added lipstick to her model here. Okay. Nice attention to detail, guys. I wish you paid a little bit more attention to
that's it,
Vegeta's height.
Okay. Why had to put a big cock in your mouth? It's like, whoa, Vegeta, Jesus Christ, calm down, buddy. So what's with you and dicks? I mean, your special attack is called Big Bang. Fucking hell, Vegeta.
I'm sure Galacon is a euphemism for something.
Oh. Yeah, I'm pretty sure garlic is saying for penis. It's like, so when he offers you some garlic bread, just say no. Just like, no, I'm fine, man. I'll eat out.
So, remind me, because this is where my Dragon Ball knowledge starts to fade away. The androids were just programmed to kill Goku because reasons?
Only 16 was.
Only 16?
Yes,
16 and 19.
Yeah, 16 was the only one who had, like, that programming as a big part of who he was. 17 and 18 had that directive, but they didn't really care. So
yeah, because they're more people than robot, basically.
Like when
they started as human.
Yeah, when they killed Dr. Gero and moved on, they decided, hey, he wanted us to kill this Goku guy. That sounds interesting. Let's go do that. And that was their motivation at first, but they were more interested in screwing around wherever they happened to be.
Yep.
Yeah, they had according to like supplementary material and all that sort of thing. In order for 17 and 18 to have like infinite energy reserves, they had to retain their human-like personality and they're teenagers. And what are teenagers if not rebellious?
Wait, their energy is determined by their personality?
Yeah, it's Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
I don't think they were really thinking about it.
Okay.
I don't think they were really thinking.
It was more like, I think their biological component and their human form is what allows whatever android parts they're built with to keep them alive.
Yeah. So they're essentially immortal, I believe.
Yeah.
Essentially, and then Super completely ignores that and says, oh, 17 can train and get more powerful too, but no, that's not how that works.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think that's just I would think that's just more of the human side taking over in terms of increasing power.
I thought it was established in Z that the androids were at a fixed power level forever, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. mostly mechanical. They can't get stronger.
I mean, you could run an update on them, but that'll introduce a whole nother set of bugs.
Yeah,
But things got really weird. with the
you know what I
update.
mean, though. You can't really physically force yourself to get stronger if you're made out of machine.
Yeah.
Well, they're not, but that's the thing, though. They're part machine. The human element means you can throw that rule out the window.
Not really. It depends on what the human element is.
Okay.
I
And
mean,
and
Ah,
Cell
well,
is a
whatever.
Shall we get into the Cell voice problem of the series?
Yeah, well, in this game in particular, you feel that the most with Cell because Cell's default voice is the really gravelly one.
Well, in Japan, all forms of Cell have the same voice, Norio Wakamoto. Now, when they made this game, obviously in Japan, they only coded him to have one voice. Problem: American version has 3 different voices for his 3 different forms. That would add a whole lot of more work to just make that change for the American version. So all forms of Cell in the Budokai series have his perfect voice. It's weird.
That's not the case here. No, in Budokai 1 and 2 and 3 to some extent, they use the default.
Oh,
Cell
sorry,
voice
his
for
default
all 3 forms.
Sorry, his default
they
Cell
use-
voice. I had it backwards.
Yeah.
So in Japanese, does she have it's the same actress, but does it
Cell is the same voice actor for all 3 forms. His voice does not change. It's all Norio Wakamoto's voice for Cell.
so he doesn't have a different voice for Form 1, Form 2, Form 3. It's just the same.
No.
Okay.
It's the
And
same
in
one, yeah.
in the English version, it's a different actor for each form as well.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
It's not so much a different actor; it's just a different voice in general.
Okay.
Yeah, which is why when they got to these games, there's a problem because it's a game developed in Japan. He only has one voice there, so there's no coding for changing his voice for different forms.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, for cutscenes, they can get around that by just recording different lines for different scenes, but in gameplay, his grunts and stuff, they're all the same. They're all from the same source file, yeah.
Yeah, they're all Form 1 Cell, and you're playing as Perfect Cell, which is really weird.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so Cell doesn't exist in Trunks' timeline. And
No, he does.
No, wait, he does? Oh, but he died.
Yeah,
He comes from Trunks'
No.
timeline. What happened is, Imperfect Cell travels back in time using Trunks' time machine.
from a third timeline.
From a third timeline in which Trunks returned to his time and was killed by Cell, and the time machine was stolen. So when Trunks returns to his timeline
Okay,
after...
so Ted, there's
Let
three
me
ti-
finish. This is
Okay.
okay. So the future Trunks who comes back during this time learns this from the Cell saga. So when he returns to his time, he heads Imperfect Cell off and kills him before he can kill him. So we've got
Which would create another timeline.
yeah. So we've got
I'm still confused. I'll just whatever.
okay. Basically this. Okay. Trunks goes back in time and warns everyone about the androids. Then he returns to his own time and gets killed by Cell, who travels back in time to absorb the androids here.
Oh, okay. And
But-
then Trunks from a third timeline travels back to the Cell.
Well, no, the Cell we're seeing is from the third quote-unquote timeline.
Yeah. But there's also a timeline in which Trunks hadn't been killed yet, but decided to come back and see how things were gonna happen.
For some reason.
Yeah. So this.
Man, fuck timelines. Fuck time travel so hard.
So this Trunks gets involved in the Cell saga and finds out through the Cell saga that this Cell came back in time after killing him. So he goes back to his own time when everything is done and just doesn't die. It's really not that complicated, but it is a bit silly.
But it's unnecessarily convoluted.
Well, so is time travel in general.
Hi, Piccolo. Ready for your last fight of being useful?
Piccolo already beat Cell at this point in this.
Well, Form 1.
Yeah, so he should be able to beat the android, no problem.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember. He would have won if Krillin was thinking with his other head. All right, sorry, my bad.
Wait, what?
Because Krillin didn't blow up Android 18 when he could have, and that's why problems happened, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, so if he thought with his other head, he would have been fine.
It would have been fine, yeah.
So do you... Okay, so you were talking about the fighting, like, way back. This has just been a Dragon Ball commentary for the most part.
Yeah, which, you know, I was kind of hoping it would.
Yeah,
be, so.
So the characters don't really feel different from each other when you're playing in Budokai 1 specifically, right? Okay.
Yeah, in Budokai 1
All right.
specifically.
So, like, you could play Goku or Piccolo, and besides what the special attacks look like, they feel mostly the same. Is what
Wow,
you're saying.
that looks explosive.
Well, it's called Hellzone Grenade, so...
Well, I mean, like, the explosion vanished, and then you could see Android 17 just floating there, and then it cut to him being blasted to the ground. It was like, okay, could have edited that a little better. Cut to the second angle a couple seconds sooner, you know, when the screen was still completely white. Maybe.
So an android's power never decreases. Could this mean, theoretically, Goku can make the strongest spirit bomb in the universe just from siphoning off 17 and 18?
No, he just throws 17 at the opponent. Go, Spirit 17!
Yeah, but just
Lend
17
me your
and 18
power,
ever run out of
Android
gas?
17.
No, they go on and say it, that their power never decreases. Like, I don't know what they mean by that.
The implication is that they never get tired, but when they need gas or electricity or
Yeah, I don't know what they run off of.
coal.
Coal? Oh, shit.
Damn you, Trump!
Oh, can you play as Mr. Popo?
No.
Nope.
Can I play as Mr. Popo and Tenkaichi?
No.
What?
Can you? So you see, I hesitated there because honestly, I'm not sure if you can or not.
Meanwhile, in an effort to become as strong
You play as fucking everybody at Tenkaichi.
Except for Farmer with Shotgun.
Yeah.
So Cell specifically needs the androids to reach his perfect form?
Yes.
Yeah, he's absorbing them.
Okay. So like if he had absorbed Goku, he wouldn't have even become perfect in that
Well, because he's not compatible with Goku.
Oh, okay. So
It's yeah, because a thing they don't really highlight is that Cell is an android. He's a biomechanical android, but he is an android nonetheless.
okay. So he needs their parts.
He has components that integrate with 17 and 18 that cause the transformation. Otherwise, he's just drinking people.
Oh, okay.
Vegeta's confidence, an uplifting story of one man and his ego. Okay. Some of these titles are really dumb.
All right, are you finally gonna get to see Cell fire his laser?
Oh, wow. But you see, this is where I wish Budokai had a bit of its own a more artistic flair, or it had the cell shading of Budokai 2 and 3. Because one of the most visually cool moments of the series is when Vegeta became Super Vegeta. You know, the muscular detail, the aura that surrounded him. I always thought that was really badass. And this one,
Yeah, the final flash.
yeah, the final flash sequence, that's pretty cool. You know, this one, his hair gets spiked here, and that's about it. You know, his body didn't really change.
Yes,
Vegeta, I'm pretty sure you're just as wide as you were earlier, so it's really not that big of a deal.
I forgot Super Vegeta was a thing.
Yeah, it's his own super duper form.
There's like Super Saiyan, but now I'm super.
His mouth is really wide open. Ah.
The naming conventions get pretty fucking complicated, which is why I'm glad they just stuck to numbers later down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah,
know,
but now
because-
there's
but now
Super Saiyan,
but now
not
we
Super
have-
Saiyan.
Well, no, see that, but they make fun of that though in Super at the very
They
least.
just call it blue now.
Yeah, because I remember Goku tries to pronounce it fully and he bites his tongue. So they just say it's like we just call it Super Saiyan Blue.
Yeah.
You know, and but you know, originally there was Super Saiyan, there was Ascended Super Saiyan, there was Complete Super Saiyan, Ultra Super Saiyan, which is the overly muscular one.
And then there's just Super Saiyan 2
Then there's
after
like,
that.
yeah, there's like full grade Super Saiyan. It's like, and then Super Saiyan 2. It's like, okay, it's much easier to swallow. Can we just go from that to that instead?
Which is what happened between 2 and 3, yes.
Yeah, because there's no other form in between 2 and 3 to my knowledge.
I need to fire in Malaysia!
Vegeta, you're an asshole. I mean, everybody knows this, but still.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, granted, though, Goku did the same thing like 6 times, though, so.
Guess it just runs in the genes.
Oh, I see. Cell also went to the school of playing Legacy of Goku on GBA. With spam Solar Flare and win.
Yeah, I never played those games.
I never played the second and third ones, but in the first one, just spam Solar Flare to win every fight.
What do you
It's
guys...
the easiest. It's the easiest RPG I've ever played because of that.
Hey, even more than Mystic Quest.
Yes.
Ooh, damn.
Your perfect form isn't much of a change, is it?
What do you mean?
Prepare to get your
isn't
ass kicked,
that
Vegeta.
You think so?
So so Vegeta would have won if he didn't let him do that. Is basically what's going. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he curb stomps up semi-perfect
Form
himself,
too.
So.
Yeah.
You'll be scorched.
And because he's an arrogant asshole, he felt like, well, I'm not having fun. That's not much of a challenge.
Yeah. So they're basically the same person, pretty much. Goku and Vegeta.
Well, that's the thing. Cell is made up of, parts of every other major character in the series. That's partially why Cell fails, because he's arrogant, like Vegeta. Which
But
is
he
basically why
also
he lets,
uses that to his advantage, knowing full well of Vegeta's arrogance,
yeah,
to convince him to go perfect.
let him power up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cell is a very weird character.
Well, I was gonna ask, what do you guys think of Cell as a villain? But this part's almost over, and since next part is the next part, I think it'd be better if we just answer that there.
What about the BUUUU saga?
No, we don't.
Boo's not in this game.
This game doesn't cover BUUUU saga, strangely, because it was already well past done at this point.
Even in the United States?
Well, no, because it's 2002.
Well, we were probably in the Buu saga.
You
at that
were
point.
most likely in the BUUUU saga. At the very
Yes.
least, World Tournament filler saga.
Well, that's the thing, though. I would have thought that maybe they would have done it maybe because they were keeping the American audience in mind, perhaps. That's the only reason I could have think of. Because, yeah, if this is just for... If they're just keeping the Japanese in mind, then, yeah, they should have just thrown Buu in here because, Buu was already a thing.
Yeah, or it could be an homage to what they originally had planned and end the series with Cell.
Wasn't
Well,
it
yeah, that
supposed
story
to
was
end
planned.
with Frieza?
I think
thought?
very early concepts was supposed to end with Frieza,
Okay.
but I think it was decided later that
Way too popular a series.
we're gonna end it with Cell. But then it was still enormously popular. Then by Buu, it's like it went no holds barred.
Toriyama was clearly just out of ideas at that point.
Well, no, it's more like if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want, sort of mentality. Which is why the Buu saga is so fucking weird, like tonally,
Yeah.
pacing wise. I used to like Buu saga. I don't really like it that much anymore, if I'm being perfectly honest.